Shifting our focus to a different story now, Seoul and Washington's Sixparty talks representatives had their first direct encounter after North Korea's fifth nuclear test. According to our Kwon Soa, the two held in-depth discussions on new ways to counter Pyongyang's provocations.
It's an unprecedented situation, even from North Korea standards, and taking into account Pyongyang's second nuclear test and more than 20 missile tests in 2016 alone. That's how Washington's top nuclear envoy Kim Hong-kyun described the current situation on the Korean Peninsula after holding talks with his South Korean counterpart Kim Hong-kyun in Seoul Tuesday. At a joint press conference, Kim Hong-kyun stressed another nuclear test cannot be ruled out, saying an environment has to be created in which North Korea has no choice but to change.
South Korea and the U.S. have agreed to use all possible methods to put more pressure on North Korea.
The two officials agreed to work on new initiatives that can also include trilateral-level measures with Japan. They also stressed that the implementation of UN Security Council Resolution 2270, which was imposed after the North's fourth nuclear test, plus forming a new, stronger one, is crucial.
In the new resolution, we're going to put efforts in closing the loopholes that were found during the implementation of the current one.
For that, the two envoys emphasized the need for close cooperation from Russia and, most importantly, North Korea's closest ally, China.
China has been very clear that they understand the need for a new Security Council resolution in response to the latest nuclear test.
Meanwhile, Kim said he believes the six-party talks remain a viable forum for addressing North Korea's nuclear issue.
Frankly, I don't think it's really a question of different formats. I think it's a question of North Korean intentions and commitment. If the North Koreans are ready to talk to us sincerely about denuclearization, I think we can work with them in the six-party process. I do believe.
Both Kims were on the same page that reintroducing nuclear weapons on the Korean Peninsula for defensive means is not considered an option right now, and rather stressed the importance of deploying the U.S. missile defense system THAAD to South Korea. South Korea's Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se leaves this week for New York to continue diplomatic efforts at the UN General Assembly. He'll also hold a number of bilateral talks to garner as much support as possible on the North Korea issue. Kwon Soa, Arirang News.